The real heroes are our brave men and women that are in Afghanistan, that are in Iraq. Many of you amongst us that have served overseas, and our parents and the greatest generations before us, and all those who took that oath to uphold and to protect and to defend our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, so help us God, and who went into hostile territory, many of them not knowing if they were ever going to come back home, and did so under the worst of circumstances, under the most dire of circumstances. Those are the real heroes. And those are the brave men and women whose legacy, in some small measure, we hope to preserve, and we hope to protect, and we hope to uphold. Thank you. I want to thank you all, first and foremost, for your warm welcome tonight. I want to thank you for your hospitality, Aileen. Thank you for inviting us over here. When we first met a little while ago, and we kind of spoke, and she said, "Would you like to come and address the village?" Yes, absolutely. So I was thrilled with the opportunity to come before you and kind of share some thoughts. I was pleased to be here, and I'm thankful for all the friendliness and the warm welcome I've gotten. Indeed, this is America's friendliest hometown, and I know that because Vice President Biden told me so in a video. It was all over the YouTube, and danced while he was doing it. So we're glad to be here. As Aileen said, we come from humble origins. We no different than any of us who have been here in America for any significant period of time. My parents came from somewhere else, and as she said, and it's available on our biography section of our campaign website. My parents came here from Puerto Rico, and the main thing that they taught me, the main thing that they instilled in me, was that belief in America. It was that belief that if you worked hard enough, if you pursued your dreams with diligence, if you made that effort day in and day out, and didn't give up, and didn't quit, and didn't back down, one day, your day would come. And if you put in the hard work up front, one day that opportunity would be there for you if you just stayed after it, if you learned English, if you mastered the culture and the different ways of doing things here, then that day would be there for you. And that was a promise that was there not only for my parents' generation, but from every generation of Americans preceding, from the beginning, from Plymouth Rock, all the way to this day. But unfortunately, the events of the past 5 years have led me to believe, and many others like me and like you to believe, that those days are under threat of being behind us. That we can no longer give future generations the guarantee of a better America. That we can no longer give future generations of Americans that promise that if you work hard enough, and if you put in the effort, and then you can and will succeed. Because we have some changes over the past few years. We've heard a lot of change, and there's been a lot of fundamental transformation. And unfortunately, we've seen where that has gone. And that's a big reason as to why I'm running for Congress. The events of the past 5 years have caused great concern for the direction of where this nation is headed. And it's, as was read to you in the bio, if we don't take significant action, this is my firmly held belief, if we do not take significant action now, we will leave for our children, for our grandchildren, for subsequent generations, a diminished country. That will be, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And not only will it be diminished, but it will be something far removed from that which was envisioned by our founders. It will be something completely alien to that which was crafted when the founders got together in Independence Hall and sat down and said that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them the right to life, the right to liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and that in order to safeguard these rights, and this is the part that we forget when we quote that, when we talk about equality, when we talk about other things, and we talk about these inalienable rights, we forget that in order to safeguard these rights, that governments are instituted among men. That is the purpose of government, and that is something we've lost. The purpose of government is not to give us free things. The purpose of government is not to provide for us one way or the other. The purpose of government is not to make sure that we take from one to give to the other. It is to safeguard our most fundamental rights. Those rights which were handed to us by our Creator, not by a government, not by a legislature, not by an act of Congress, but from our divine Creator. And we've kind of lost that purpose along the way. And that's a big part of the reason why I'm running for Congress. It's important that when we go forward, it's important that when we go to Washington, that we restore the public trust. It's important that we gain that sense of stewardship of our most